Johnnie Cochran Jr. is going to tell you a story about racial unprofiling. We all know about racial profiling. Johnnie Cochran Jr. likes to racial unprofile himself. So, I'm walking down the street in my mustard yellow suit. And I stop at this light. And all of a sudden, I notice this police officer eyeballing me. So, I did what was in my rights. I eyeballed him back. I was thinking, why are you eyeballing me? Is it illegal to walk around in dreadlocks and a mustard yellow suit? I mean, it's not exactly in our Constitution, but I don't think it's illegal. So, he pulls around, he asks me, what's your first name? And I said, Johnny, because that's my name. I said, Johnny. And he goes, what's your last name? And I go, Cochran. Johnnie Cochran Jr. And he tells me to step in front of his car. Step in front of his car. So, I step in front of a car with my french fries in my hand. I didn't tell you about the french fries. But with my french fries in my hand, I step in front of the car. And they step out. Racial profiling me. Dreadlock profiling me. Mustard yellow suit profiling me. As I'm walking across the street, step in front of the car, and they start asking me questions. Where were you 3 days ago? Me, I'm mentally checking my calendar 3 days ago. I was like, oh, such and such date? He goes, yeah. I was like, what time? He goes, where were you 3 days ago? I was thinking, tell me so I know what to say. I ain't going to paint myself in any corner. I ain't going to do that. What I wanted to ask him was, where were you 3 days ago? So, I told him I was at Starbucks in the morning, and then I wandered around all day. Wandered around all day. That's not illegal to wander around all day. But he got suspicious, even more suspicious, because I had the same first name as the perpetrator of some unseen crime that they said I was the witness. He said, we're looking for the witness. No, I know. It's simple country science. I know that you're looking for the perpetrator of the crime. You ain't looking for a witness. So, he starts asking me questions. Justice. There's a balance of justice. Justice is blind. He thought I was guilty. So he was racial profiling me. And I wanted to unprofile myself to even it out so I could set myself free. So he asked me questions, and I give him answers. He's like, what do you do for work? It's like, I'm the legal counsel for OrganicExpression.com. He's like, oh, legal counsel. Oh. Can I see your ID? Yes. I was thinking, yes, officer, here's my ID. That's what I said. But I was thinking, see this ID? There may be some dirt on it, but it's clean. Really clean. You can't do shit. Clean. That's what I was thinking. But I respect him. Because if I was a police officer, I'd probably be worse than he is. Gave him the ID. Let him check it out. He'll know it's clean. And then they're asking me questions, but they're not telling me what time going back and forth. Tell me the time. I can tell you where I was at a certain time. But I can't figure out the whole day because I was wandering around all day. So, as I'm going, he's going back and forth, asking me that questions. And needless to say, one quick thing. As he was going, and he knows I'm not doing stuff, I asked the officer, is it okay if I pick up my French fries that I set down when I was handing you my clean ID? And he said, oh yes, of course. Yes, he says that. He's like, oh, of course you can. But what he meant was, oh damn, if he would have just grabbed it, I could have shot him in the ass. If he would have just grabbed those fries, I didn't know there wasn't a gun sitting there or something, I could have shot him in the ass. I would have probably taken 1 day off of work for shooting him in the ass. But I'm smart. Even though I knew I was innocent, the difference between an innocent man and a guilty man that got shot ain't much difference at all. So, profiled myself, racial unprofiled myself, focused it, got it back online, and I was the judge, I was the jury, I was the witness, and I was set free. Free at last. 4 minutes of pain and suffering. No need to go into the court system. They say that justice is blind, but it can taste, it can touch, it can feel, and your witnesses can see. And Johnnie Cochran Jr. doesn't want to deal with that. I solved the case, not in court. I solved it on the street. Madlocking this motherfucker.